In the 1950s, batteries were a problem. Heavy, leaky, short-lived. No one wanted to work on them. At the Eveready Battery Company in Cleveland, battery research was known as the dead-end department, a place where ideas went to stall, not spark. And that's exactly where they put Louis Urry. The story of Louis Urry is brought you from the archives of Inventing America. Support our independent, non-monetized channel by subscribing and turning on notifications. Now, back to the story. Although it was a dead end, Louis Urry didn't protest. He unpacked his notebooks, sat down in the fluorescent gloom, and got to work. In a room full of discarded prototypes and skepticism, Urry saw something else, a puzzle worth solving. Urry was 28. He just emigrated from Canada after finishing his engineering degree at the University of Toronto. He was smart, restless, and, at the time, stuck. Assigned to a project no one believed in, using materials nobody trusted, to solve a problem the company had already decided was unsolvable. He read through old notes, studied failed designs, and started asking his own questions. Because Urry didn't see a dead end, he saw a dare. The standard batteries of the day were zinc-carbon, cheap but flawed. They corroded quickly. Their power faded fast. Urry believed he could do better. He started experimenting with a different chemistry, one that had been dismissed: alkaline manganese dioxide. It was stable, it was clean, and if used correctly, it could last far longer. But it wasn't just chemistry. The key was in the design: a spiral wound anode that increased surface area without increasing bulk. Each version he built looked rough, more like a science project than a product, tape-wrapped, unpolished. But one day, after hundreds of adjustments, something changed. A spark, a glow, a steady reading on the voltmeter. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. The real breakthrough wasn't in the lab, it was in the hallway. To convince the executives, Urry rigged a simple test: 2 toy cars, one powered by a standard carbon battery, the other with his new alkaline prototype. They started side by side. One sputtered, one kept going, and going. It zipped past desks, around corners, across the break room tile. Engineers looked up, and for the first time, they didn't laugh. They followed. You'd think that was enough, but it wasn't. Eveready executives didn't want to risk their market share. A new battery meant new tooling, new machines, new advertising, new everything. Disruption, they feared, would cost too much. They told Urry, shelf the project, let it go. Instead, he filed the paperwork anyway and kept building. Urry filed a patent anyway, and quietly, the technology spread. First in watches, then in hearing aids, then toys, then portable tape recorders, then cameras. By the time the market caught on, the shift had already begun. No slogans, no launch campaign, just performance, quietly outrunning the competition. The alkaline battery didn't revolutionize one industry. It powered all of them. It hid in plastic casings, clicked into backs of remotes, slid into slots in handheld games. But most people never learned the name Louis Urry. No spotlight, no commercials, no hero shot, just quiet energy behind the curtain. Every beep, every flash, every hour of power was his. Today, Louis Urry's original prototype sits in the Smithsonian, beside the toy car that outran doubt. Not many stop to look. Even fewer know what it is. But somewhere in that moment, in that race on the lab floor, was the beginning of the battery you're using right now. His name isn't stamped on the side, but his work, it is everywhere.